I had to wear nude pantyhose all the time. I've had a lot of jobs over the years. It sounds so silly to say, and I get it because I'm American. When you work really hard, you value what you've earned. So we're human, we eat. We need to do a purchase order of $1 million. Well, when I got married, I changed my name. It's a complicated one for people to understand because a last name it's a dukedom. Clickbait has a huge financial implication.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Scandalous Media. It's Angela here, and once again, Meghan Markle proves she's the gift that keeps on giving, though not in the way she thinks. The more she tries to look relatable, the more she exposes just how out of touch she really is. And honestly, it's comedy gold. This time, she's back in front of the camera, sitting down with Emily Chang on the circuit to tackle her so-called haters and defend her Netflix series With Love, Meghan. And of course, she times it exactly right as season 2 premiered the same day as her As Ever products hit shelves. You've got to admire the coordination. In this video, I'm going to break down all of Meghan's bizarre moments from this interview, and stay tuned for my next video breaking down all the bizarre moments from With Love Meghan Season 2 and how the numbers flopped harder than Season 1. It's pretty crazy, so let's get into it. Be sure to like and subscribe for new videos every single week, put those post notifications on so you don't miss the live chat premiere we do for every single video, and follow us on our social media so you don't miss our weekly short form content, as well as the new Scandal Sheet online magazine that is dropping every single week. And now, let's get into the video. Meghan sat down with Bloomberg's Emily Chang for an interview that attempts to frame her as this successful businesswoman beyond the royal spotlight, which is interesting considering she's been out of the royal fold for well over 5 years now. The video opens up with Meghan stuffing her face in a burger because nothing says I'm relatable and authentic than trying to connect with mere mortals through food.
Well, you asked earlier about do you feel the pressure to be real? We're human, we eat.
This isn't 2012 anymore. You won't get a viral Tumblr post because you were eating pizza backstage at the Victoria's Secret fashion show now. Right off the bat, we can see how she's being framed as a relatable businesswoman, and this comment right here explains the issue most people have with Meghan. What exactly has she built that stands on its own merit? Archewell has no significant output beyond PR, her Spotify deal collapsed with executives calling her lazy and difficult, and her business ventures are consistently propped up by celebrity connections rather than genuine innovation or results. To present her as a thriving entrepreneur ignores the repeated failures and the pattern of overpromising with under-delivery. That isn't misogyny or hate, it's simply the record. And this is seen with how a few seconds in and Emily asks Meghan as if she's an expert,
I want the with love take on why does this taste so good? What's so special about this?
and Meghan delivers exactly how you would expect her to.
It's the squishy bun, it's the crunch in the onion, it's the texture of the meat, it's...
Basically describing the burger like an amateur chef. She's not a professional, so she has nothing insightful to add, just generic observations that anyone could make. And Emily dies of laughter because with Meghan, there's just no substance. All you can do is laugh. She then narrates the same old tired story about how this Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, who you may think you know, the royal, the tabloid subject, the divider, who's trapped in the monarchy. At least that's what the media told us. And right off the bat, we see it's the same recycled narrative Meghan has been hurling at the press for the past 5 years. So let's fast forward a bit, shall we? Now, I already talked about how Meghan is fluffing up As Ever and her connections and all the projects she supposedly had lined up over the years, so definitely check out my recent videos for more tea, as this will just build on to what I already exposed about her. We jump to Meghan talking about As Ever, and the delusion has to be noted because she says,
And suddenly the conversation goes from a few thousand jars and lids to we need to do a purchase order of $1 million.
Now, what's interesting about Meghan and As Ever is that specific unit sales aren't publicly available, but Meghan previously compared the limited availability of her brand to a sneaker drop and noted that the scarcity mentality at the beginning might be a hook for people. So many people feel like she's using the sellout strategy to mimic success. As Ever is known for its limited releases and micro drops, a marketing tactic many brands use to create artificial scarcity. By making products seem like they're selling out, it it generates excitement and a sense of urgency. But is there proof of these sellouts that Meghan is now scaling up to 1 million units? Who really knows? But one thing is certain, Meghan keeps getting caught in multiple lies. Lies that have gotten her in trouble with Netflix, Spotify, and the court of the law because she's Anna Delveying her way out of things. Promising there's a big result and outcome, and when the time comes for her to show us, she has nothing. But you know what she has? Her 72 days as a working royal that she is milking dry. She is still complaining about royal life, and this time, it's over pantyhose. Yes, pantyhose.
I had to wear nude pantyhose all the time. Let's be honest.
The way she pauses for a reaction kills me.
That was not very myself. I hadn't seen pantyhose since movies in the 80s when they came in the little egg. That felt a little bit inauthentic.
It's been 5 years since she left and 7 years since she married into one of the world's oldest monarchies, and she still can't grasp that there were rules and traditions long set before her and not going to change for her. But what makes this even more flabbergasting is the fact that she did break royal protocol multiple times by refusing to wear stockings. So how is it that you're complaining about something that you didn't even consistently follow?
Good thing she don't get paid for thinking.
Most jobs have dress codes. Doctors, cops, corporate workers all follow them. So why is Meghan acting like wearing stockings at work is a personality crime? And why is it considered inauthentic to follow a dress code while you're on the job? And better yet, why is she still complaining about a job where she only worked for 72 days? How does she still have new content after 6+ hours with Netflix, 2 hours with Oprah, multiple Harry-led tell-alls, and countless times she's already told her story?
When you're able to dress the way you want to dress and you're able to say the things that are true and you're able to show up in the space really organically and authentically.
She says all of this and then will release rosé as if it's her own, but then when you trace the barcode number through the barcode registry, it comes up as registered to the Wine Gift Shop LLC in San Francisco. Or she'll talk about authenticity, but put on a fake act on her Netflix show, leading to even her father calling her out. She kind of stutters,
Organically and authentically. That's
and then says,
being comfortable in your own skin. And that's, of course, had different chapters in my life.
being comfortable in your own skin is one thing, and dressing appropriately on the job is another thing. She acts like she didn't blow hundreds of thousands of the royal budget on exactly what she wanted. The fact that she's acting like pantyhose is so 80s to continuously perpetuate this idea that the monarchy is so outdated is hilarious, considering that pantyhose never went out of style. Most pop stars wear them on stage, and it's even something trendy in the fall season to wear like red pantyhose or even those fake sheer black pantyhose that goes viral on TikTok every single winter. This is the perfect example to show how Meghan's the one that's truly outdated with her aesthetics and thinking she's a trendsetter when she has no idea what trends are, and the only thing she has going for her is rage baiting the media to muster a headline relating back to the royal family. I don't know about you, but it seems like Meghan has bigger problems than wearing pantyhose back in 1987. At some point in the interview, Emily and Meghan are at this library that Meghan claims
This is my friend's place, this is Godmother's.
to try to give sweet old Meg some personality, and Meghan tries to bond with Emily by bringing up the kids.
I spend so much time reading children's books, and you have 4 kids?
Yes.
And in typical Meghan fashion, what does she say next, class?
You know, our kids are 4 and 6, and so
Yup. All she knows about her kids is their ages.
because Archie and Lily are just 3 and 5. We have 2 little ones. They are now 4 and 6.
Oh, it's great now that our little ones are little and enjoying every moment of it.
The kids are always brought up when she wants to promote something, such as using them to promote season 2 and her playlist for the season in a Labor Day post. Now, I don't know if Meghan trips on her own words, but she said,
Well, I spend so much time reading children's books.
only to say,
I haven't really gotten into a book in a long time.
I know, it's hard. I
Kids
also
books,
read a lot
parenting
of
books.
children's books.
so she says kids books, parenting books. Now, I don't know if she knows what she's trying to say, or if she's trying to say she hasn't read other books aside from children's books, because sweet Emily is trying to make sense of what she's saying, but this sets up the stage for Meghan to talk about.
And then my late night indulgence now is just a lot of Duolingo. Do you ever do that?
And watch how she pauses for Emily to react. The claw extends for a second, and she's very tight-lipped smile here, as she waits for Emily to wrap it up so she can say,
I'm Duolingoing French.
Yeah.
I committed to relearning it,
my
and so,
goodness,
yeah.
which is a story Meghan told 3 years ago to Variety.
I've done my 10 minutes of Duolingo. I really wanted to relearn French.
Studied it for the 4 years in high school, and then I just went away.
At some point in the interview, Meghan is questioned about the revelation of Meghan Sussex, and her explanation is just as hilarious as she is.
What have you learned about yourself since becoming Sussex?
Well, interesting. What I learned about myself is no matter what my name is or what people call me, I'm still the same person.
You can tell that halfway through this whole scheme, she lost the plot because she says,
So that didn't change who I am. And maybe that's probably the biggest distinguishing factor.
didn't change who you are, but you tweaked on Mindy Kaling randomly when she didn't refer to you as Meghan Sussex and assumingly wanted her to bow down to you at the same time.
It's so funny too that you keep saying Meghan Markle, you know I'm Sussex now. You have kids and you go, no, I share my name with my children.
She's then asked some more about the name drama.
Are you Meghan Sussex? Are you Meghan Duchess of Sussex? Is Markle even on your passport anymore? Is it?
We don't use that term anymore.
And you can already tell that Meghan is confused as she gives a lackluster explanation of what she calls herself. She deters from the question right off the bat, saying,
Well, when I got married, I changed my name.
Yeah.
But it's a complicated one for people to understand because a last name is...
For people to understand, or for you, Meghan? The gag is, she never told anyone that she's not Meghan Markle, because if she did, that would have been an official statement to the press. Instead, both she and Harry went on faux royal tours, tell-all interviews, a whole Netflix show, and not once was this clarified. It's only when Meghan wanted something new for people to talk about that she randomly pressed Mindy Kaling about it. She then goes on a whole Americans are silly, har har har, we are stupid and don't understand basic concepts rant that she has previously tried to portray on the soap opera that was Harry and Meghan.
It sounds so silly to say, and I get it because I'm American.
What?
And then I went there and I started to understand. Then you come back and as an American you go, I'm so confused.
Yeah. Okay, so there's some education that needs to be done. I can see that.
It's a dukedom.
Is anyone here American and deeply confused like Meghan is trying to make us seem? Why would we be confused? Are we illiterate by any chance? People aren't confused, Meghan. They're just calling out your BS. That's not confusing, that's fact. Emily Chang is also continuing with the show, saying,
A dukedom, that's a new word for me.
I mean, it's not quirky or relatable to not research a subject. I also didn't know anything a couple of years ago when I first started covering Meghan and Harry, but guess what? I learned. I did my research. A concept Meghan is trying to pretend is dead in America. Education. Because she's trying to gaslight everyone as to what really went down when she scouted Harry out and tricked him into not knowing anything about her because she's American. And yet she never clears up whether Markle is dropped or not because she's a liar. She just goes on and on about Sussex being a family name and how Duchess of Sussex is her legal name, but never clarifies what the hell she meant by not going by Markle anymore when she randomly tweaked on Mindy Kaling.
But at the end of the day, you know, yes, so my legal name is Meghan, Duchess of Sussex.
But Sussex for us works as our family name, and it's a name that we share with our children. And but yeah, since we've been married, that's what I've been called.
And the kids and Harry use the Mountbatten Windsor name, something Meghan never bothered to mention. She seems completely out of the loop, just shifting with whatever serves the PR angle or helps her squeeze a little more out of the royal connection. And her current PR angle shows that she's using the kids to promote whatever she's trying to sell, which is funny since she's doing exactly what she accused the royal family and the media of doing. She whined a lot about security only to expose what soccer school Archie goes to when she posted the back of his shirt in clear view on her Instagram. And we already know that if she or Archie gets photographed there, A, it was previously planned by her outing the location on her Instagram, B, she'll probably use it to milk this idea that they're in danger and that's why they need the US to fund their security, and C, she'll probably use this to aid in Harry's paranoia some more as he goes off in yet another tell-all interview doing her dirty work. What was it that he said last time? He's scared of a knife attack or an acid attack if they come to the UK?
And whether it's a knife or acid, whatever it is, and these are things that are a genuine concern for me. It's one of the reasons why I won't bring my wife back to this country.
Emily Chang feeds Meghan's delusional theories when she asks her what she would do if she had total anonymity, to which Meghan says,
I would go grocery shopping every day. I miss grocery shopping so much.
Every other celebrity in Montecito and Santa Barbara goes to the grocery store every week without any issues, but Meghan, who's never photographed unless it's so painfully staged, can't?
Let's be real.
Also, it's always someone who doesn't do the mundane things in life who tries to romanticize grocery shopping every single day. You don't really go grocery shopping every single day, and considering she's claiming to grow literally everything in her backyard to fulfill some alleged dream she had when she was 6 years old, it's highly unlikely that she'd need to go grocery shopping daily. If you're growing everything in your backyard, what would you be buying daily? Milk? Does a jug of milk finish in a day? Black pepper? Are you using 8 cups a day? It just sounds like someone who doesn't actually do the mundane things, which is fine, but don't pretend like it's what you do or strive to do. This fake act is very off-putting, and after multiple fails and bizarre moments videos I've done about her, she still doesn't get it. In what seems like, to me, an effort to seem chill and low maintenance and not like she only cares about private jets, she says,
I would travel in a different way. I used to travel so much, and we can, but it has a lot of layers.
If the future King and Queen of England can fly commercially, and so can high-profile celebrities who have to get through swarms of fans at the airport, then surely someone who can't even make noise despite how hard she tries can as well. There are no security threats, and she's straying away from pitching that narrative again because she knows there's no substance to what she's saying. So she sticks to the word layers as a reason to why she has abused private jets in the past. And listen, most A-listers fly private not because they need to, but because they want to and can afford to do so. Taylor Swift is someone who apparently destroys the climate with every private jet she takes, but at least she doesn't go around pretending like there are security issues to why she does it, while also perpetuating a narrative that she's so humble. But Meghan goes to the deep end, trying to portray this idea of her that she's not, and Emily seems to be looking at her with suspicious eyes the whole time.
So I would just backpack and road trip and be able to be a little bit more spontaneous.
If Justin Bieber can road trip across states with his wife, who's a target of a new hate train every year, and he's genuinely one of the few celebrities who can actually say he's been a victim of real privacy invasions, then I'm pretty sure Meghan Markle, who no one is even checking for, can manage the same. The tea is, she doesn't. Yeah, I'm seeing this theme we keep peddling with her, and it just lies on top of lies on top of lies. Like the idea that she's some successful founder who didn't just change up the entirety of her brand this past spring, as she's winging it as she goes, or the idea that there is always a security threat, even though she's willing to do anything for a picture. Another lie she's peddling was that she had this extremely established Hollywood career that she gave up for Harry to show her ultimate sacrifice and to hit back at the claims that she's using him, and if anything, she did him a favor.
I just wanted to be on a TV show that would run for 10 seasons, and I would have been, but I left 7 in because I fell in love.
This is a story she tried to paint on Netflix, which I so graciously exposed in my videos. Suits was already on a steady decline by season 5 in 2015, averaging about 2 million views per episode, and then less than 2 million for season 6 in 2016. Apparently, Meghan's character was going to get written out of the show, and the show itself revolved around Patrick J. Adams and Gabriel Match, so it's not like she was the main character. That's why she was going around telling friends that she's looking for a British wealthy man and trying to break into high society. Anyone who is in the industry or has observed it, as I have for the past 12 years, knows that cable television is not granted for the long run, especially when you have no other options. We look at stars like the cast of Pretty Little Liars, The Vampire Diaries, and more, and we wonder, did they do anything notable after their role on cable TV, or are they still referencing their peaks?
I was pretty into it. I was like, this is fucking good.
And considering Meghan was much less famous than the casts of both those shows, she knows, and we know, that she would have been nowhere. So the idea that she had it all figured out and gave it all up for Harry is only a story Harry believes, and a story that Meghan tells herself because of her savior complex. Another story Meghan keeps peddling is that no one really knows who she is, and that the media is just cashing in on her name for clickbait and income.
Those people don't know me and they're not talking about me. Oh, right, there is a very, very powerful machine, and it's all about generating income.
Newsflash, Meghan, the media existed before you and it'll exist long after you. Celebrities and the press have a symbiotic relationship. They need coverage to stay relevant and the media needs them for stories. That's how it works.
Those stories aren't just appearing because it's fun. Clickbait has a huge financial implication.
On Oprah, both she and Harry claim that members of the royal family have parties for the media and hang out with them to push out narratives about her. But who's the one sending PR packages and handwritten letters to the editor-at-large at Forbes? It's not Catherine or William, it's you, Meghan. And when she's sitting on that couch with Emily Chang, who exactly does she think she's talking to? She is part of the very machine she claims only exists to exploit her. And let's be clear, if Meghan generates clicks, she's not the only one. It's not the media's fault she's not well liked, and it's certainly not their fault credible sources have exposed her over and over again. Her own family, her father, her staff, The list goes on. But instead of looking inward and asking what about her behavior keeps creating these stories, she spent years trying to discredit everyone else.
If I'm part of an SEO and that gets them more clickbait, then yes, they're incentivized to churn out as many stories, false or damaging or whatnot, to feed the beast because that's paying them.
Instead, she pretends to be holier than thou, as if she hasn't been using the royal family as clickbait time and time again. As if premiering a whole reality TV show about how she was done wrong by them wasn't the only thing worth mentioning in the last 5 years. Tell me, Meghan, how is it that the only successful Netflix show you two managed to put out revolved around the royal family and how they supposedly did you dirty? Because the shows that you and Harry put out didn't scratch the top 10. Actually, season 2 of With Love Meghan has already plummeted out of the top 100 on Netflix, sitting at number 98 on its 3rd day and probably in the bottom 500 by the time you see this video. Or that clickbait-filled Oprah interview where you accused the royals of racism and claimed your white as day son wasn't going to get a title because of how dark he was. Does this look dark to anyone? Not only was she playing the race card with an extremely white-passing child who will never face the struggles that a darker-skinned person might, but she also pushed a lie built on misinformation. Let's not forget, Archie did get a title once Queen Elizabeth passed, a fact everyone knew was coming, but Meghan spun it differently to fit her narrative. So who's the real clickbait queen now? And honestly, why would anyone think Meghan making a one-pan pasta is more compelling than the ongoing saga of a narcissistic duchess so deep in her own delusion she exposes herself every single time she opens her mouth? She claims she doesn't look at what's being said.
And I think from my standpoint, that's why I don't look at it. It would be very hard to see anything about yourself that isn't true.
And yet she always seems to have a response to everything the media has ever exposed about her. She's dedicated herself to this very game, through Netflix, Archetype, Spare, tell-all interviews, op-eds, and even that scene of her typing away on her laptop trying to take down the Daily Mail on Netflix. All of it is her scrambling to disprove the narrative. So what do you mean you're not looking at it when you're updated the second something comes out and it takes you about 2 seconds to release a statement, spin the PR, or shove Harry forward to fight your battles for you?
It's some caricature they've had to create to get clicks.
Some caricature? Funny, because Meghan, most people don't need a caricature. They've got first-hand stories, whether it's you bullying staff, dropping your entire family, or being caught on camera with those overly controlling habits like the infamous claw. People like me are simply pointing out what's already there. No one's pulling from some inside source. This is all public information because you live in a glass house. And every time you try to pretend otherwise, you just crack another window yourself. When asked if you could choose one thing for people to know the truth about you, what would that one thing be? Meghan's body language shifts instantly. She goes from smiling and leaning in toward Emily to her smile completely dropping. She straightens her posture and subtly pulls back, a classic body language tell that her guard just went up. Her hands also change. Instead of relaxed, slightly open palms, she stiffens and straightens her fingers. In psychology, that's another defensive cue, a physical attempt to control her reactions and project composure while she's internally bracing herself. At the same moment, she fixes her eyes on Emily, almost staring her down, which signals she's already preparing to perform rather than answer honestly. And sure enough, when the mask feels like it's slipping, she pivots. She goes from looking taken aback, as if Emily was getting too close to the truth, to flipping into this almost childish, overly smiley persona. She even lowers her voice into a whisper.
No one's ever asked me that. What a great question.
Which comes off like a staged performance designed to soften the tension and steer the narrative back into her control. She almost stalls a bit by saying, "What a great question," as she rapidly blinks, tilts back, and is visibly thinking of what to say, even looking up and saying, "Oh gosh," like 3 times.
The one thing, oh gosh, what's the one thing? Oh gosh,
She's so taken aback by this question, almost like a narcissist being asked to reveal who they truly are, something they desperately don't want anyone to see. She literally freezes, stares up at the ceiling with that tight-lipped smile, clearly trying to come up with something to say. At one point, she even closes her eyes briefly, and then smiles uncannily. After about 15 seconds of hesitation, she finally manages to respond, but she can only muster this.
I just want people to know that I'm a real person.
The delivery suggests that she doesn't even believe it herself. Her body language, the freeze, the ceiling stare, the forced smile, all scream fake, defensive, and uncomfortable. After saying that, she even stares Emily down for a bit, almost like she's reading how she perceived that, while nodding her head, which is a psychological tactic when you're trying to get the person in front of you to agree with you. Because Emily was looking at her like she can't even believe the BS she's saying. And when she doesn't get a reaction out of Emily, it's like watching someone in a rat race because she looks deep at her again, fixes her hair, the smile drops, and she goes back to talking about
what can be super dehumanizing when you look at the clickbait culture and how much is written
About someone, it's like, no, my friends have to read those things.
aka the same culture she profits from. Because you know who else is a real person? The Princess of Wales, who has suffered numerous attacks by Meghan and Harry when she was painted as a villain who grimaced when Meghan wanted to use her lip gloss, or when Harry exposed texts between Meghan and Catherine in Spare, or when Meghan went on Oprah lying about how Catherine made her cry, or when she had her mouthpiece Boozy, who they so graciously had on Netflix, conspire about Catherine's whereabouts when she was dealing with her cancer diagnosis.
If William did something to Kate or not, or if Kate did something to herself.
Queen Elizabeth was also a real person, but Meghan spared her no mercy, despite her own admission, saying that she was the sweetest person to her. And yet Meghan spent all of episode 3 on Netflix talking about Britain's racist and colonial past, something they tried hard to tie back to Queen Elizabeth, who was known to love literally everyone, until Meghan set out to force the "she was racist" narrative. Is your father not a real person, Meghan? Why deprive him of meeting his grandchildren while he's ill and growing old? You know, the same person who took care of you for a big chunk of time where your mother mysteriously disappeared from your life. Why doesn't someone ask Meghan these questions? And the crazy part is that Meghan basically admits to being up to date with everything that's being said about her, while also admitting that she overthinks about what people are going to say about her.
Is this hair out of place? I bet it is, but I'm okay with it.
It's fascinating that she says this while also claiming she doesn't really care what anyone thinks. Obviously, she does, because she has a reply for everything and dedicates entire projects to striking back at that narrative. She stutters a bit.
Is someone going to say something about anything? Probably.
And then claims she's made peace with the criticism, even though every single rebrand of Meghan's relies on responding to what people are saying, not ignoring it. She says some more word salad, and I'm not even sure if she knows what she's talking about.
Where you can make peace with that, then I think you just settle into being yourself, whether you're high profile or not.
She is always in defense mode, and oftentimes that happens because people are trying to hide something about themselves, like the truth is too triggering. For example, she's still fighting the allegations that she dropped everyone in her life on the way to the top, which is a fact. We have first-hand accounts of this, whether it's from her half-siblings, childhood friends, former industry friends, or even her own father. She said something that stuck out to me.
I have real best friends, the same ones since I was 17.
And yet these alleged best friends weren't at the wedding, they weren't at her baby shower, and they weren't invited to her Netflix show either. Only celebrities she barely knows or doesn't know at all were there. She didn't even invite her niece to the wedding and then lied on Netflix about how it was the royal family who told her not to invite her.
The guidance at the time was to not have her come to our wedding.
I don't know who's stupider, the fact that Meghan thought the general public would believe that the royal family would tell her not to invite her own family, or the fact that her niece bought into that lie on Netflix. And instead of inviting family, she invited complete strangers she's never met, like the Clooneys and Oprah. Harry also invited his ex-girlfriends, but Meghan's niece? Oh no, she was banished. Look at the way she talks about it.
I was in the car with H. And I called her and I had her on speakerphone and we talked her through what guidance we were being given and why this assessment was made. And
notice the choice of words. Guidance we were being given, why this assessment was made. As if it was some United Nations type of decision. She pauses, trying to mirror what I'm assuming is the emotion empathy.
And that's painful.
She even brought her niece Ashley to talk about it, and somehow Meghan convinced her that because she fell out with her mother, aka Meghan's half-sister, that meant that she couldn't invite her niece to the wedding.
To feel like because of her it was taken away.
I'm sure the palace would have been thrilled that another family member other than Doria, her mother, was there. Oh, and when did she clear this up with her niece? Right, in public on Netflix, so it can serve whatever agenda she's serving, as opposed to clearing things up behind the scenes with her. The same thing happened when she went on Oprah or when Harry released Spare. Like, if she really cared so much about not being a clickbait profiteer or not playing the prove it game like she claims, then maybe she wouldn't be an example of exactly what she's claiming to hate. My favorite category is interviewers looking at Meghan like they don't believe a word she says. The fact that it's been nearly 6 years since she left the royal family and she's still trying to teach the general public about who the real Meghan is, and we don't see any proof of any of the alleged groundbreaking ideas she had to modernize the royal family, is very telling about who she is.
But we have so many exciting things on the slate. I can't wait until we can announce them.
Even at the Time 100 summit, she made an awkward joke, cutting off the interviewer, who was talking about her journey, to say,
"So this conversation is about her journey, your journey. And I want to start
We have 20 minutes?
Yeah, we do.
It's been a journey.
We do. We can go over.
Talk about awkward. You'd think she'd get the hint, but considering she just keeps on going, I'm assuming she doesn't. Nowadays, she spends her days ironing on stickers to hoodies and making jam and pasta, which might be the tell that someone has nothing else to do, because that's a hobby Brooklyn Beckham has been taking up too.
Today I am going to make a simple tomato pasta.
No wonder why Victoria and David Beckham are livid. Do you guys want a video on the Beckhams' drama with the pelts? I feel like there are a lot of similarities between Nicola and Brooklyn and Meghan and Harry. Well, that's all for this video. Be sure to let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you want a part 2 of more bizarre moments from this interview? Let me know in the comments. Stay tuned for my next video breaking down all the embarrassing moments from season 2 of With Love Meghan. Be sure to like and subscribe for new videos each week. Put those post notifications on so you don't miss the live chat premiere we do for every single video. Follow us on our social media, and as ever, I'll see you next time.